Hey everyone, the Talking Dads podcast is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus. Mention that you heard about them through our podcast, and when you tour, and you'll receive $25 off of your registration fee. Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together. We are also brought to you by FRATO GASTROPUB. FRATO was voted Best Gastropub in Cleveland in 2019 by Cleveland Magazine Silver Spoon Awards. We love FRATO. Their menu is chef-inspired, always pushing the limits of traditional pub fare. The other night I had a burger, I believe it was called the Pub Burger. It was incredible. Cooked perfectly. It was amazing. And you won't have a problem pairing your favorite item on the menu with their great selection of local craft beers, crafted cocktails, and of course, an amazing bourbon and whiskey selection. I went with the Bullet 10-year with my Pub Burger. All of this in a cozy, fun, come-as-you-are atmosphere. You can check them out at pubfrato.com and on Facebook and Instagram at FRATO GastroPub.
No guest tonight, just Ian and I in Ian's basement, quarantined, well, sort of. Ian and I talking about finding the light, finding some positives during this dark time, and just having a great conversation. Just trying to figure out how to get through this together, and just some advice for everybody. So make sure you check this out. We had an awesome time together. We had some good bourbon, our infinity bottle. So enjoy.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
Everybody.
This shit is insane, bro.
Dude, I can't even. I mean, I feel like I just need to get right into how crazy everything is.
Yeah.
I just
if you
blowing my mind.
Like a week ago, even I was not a conspirator. I don't know.
Maybe that would make you the conspirator.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anywho,
I was not subscribing to the conspiracy theories.
Yeah. There was. I mean, like that's the way they made it kind of seem.
And
a lot of people,
right?
Do, but still, some people are, which is mind-boggling to me.
And I also wasn't. It's just a cold. But I definitely wasn't thinking about closing my business.
No.
I definitely wasn't thinking about just like a complete change of our way of life.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at, right?
We're absolutely there. I mean, did you ever? I saw a meme the other day. It said, if I would have told you, somebody would have told me 2 months ago that all businesses would be closed, bars, restaurants, and there would be no toilet paper, and Tom Brady would be in
Tampa Bay.
I would have called that person. I would have just been like, "You're crazy."
Yeah,
but no, it's absolutely true.
That's all things that are happening.
Yeah, and it's just insanity. I can't get over how crazy everything is. I'm with you. I like a few weeks ago, I was like, whatever, you know. I mean, I wasn't saying that I was taking it lightly, but I was definitely taking it a lot more lightly than I am now.
Sure.
And
I mean, everyone was. It's
hard not to. It's like it's.
Oh man, look at this stuff that's going on in China.
Mm-hmm. I remember when we went to Arizona is when they.
Yeah.
It was like the first.
That was like
few cases like here. I remember them being like, "Oh, there's a." You know, someone has it in Arizona. And I'm like, "Oh, great, we're going there."
Right.
But then at the same time, I was like, "Whatever, flu."
Yeah. Right.
You know, no big deal. But now that we're where we are right now, I'm driving here tonight. You know the signs that tell you like,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
it says limit travel, stop
the
COVID.
spread.
It's like I feel like I'm in a movie. I feel like
it's a zombie movie. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for zombies to start attacking my car, like as I'm driving. I mean, this stuff is insane. Your business is closed.
Yeah, and we closed at 2:00 today.
I mean, I'm still
which
working,
is just
but it's
weird.
Still,
I mean, like.
Did they officially close
No.
daycare? So they're still
So he's supposed to talk on it tomorrow. But here's the thing: is like, and this is completely means absolutely nothing to anybody else. But I've taken a lot of pride over the last few years of never closing for a day that we were supposed to be opened.
Yeah.
I mean, we provide a service for people that have to go to work and have to do things, and
People depend on it.
yeah. And so like there's been plenty of like really bad snowstorms. I remember one time where we had half of the building had the heat go out. Like our furnace just stopped working. So like I remember calling the fire department, and they came out and approved us on the spot to use like space heaters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And got it to where, and like moved all the kids to the side of the building that had
the
heat.
heat and everything,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? We did everything that we could so that
You
we
guys made
didn't
it
close
work.
down because
People need you.
Yeah.
People depend on it, and that's where it's crazy. I mean, as of until yesterday, I was somebody who would have needed it still because I have to work. I can't not work right now. And then Liz was working
right
up until last night. So I took yesterday off to stay with the kids, and it's crazy, man. Like we were talking earlier, it's insane when you're home with the kids all day and there's nothing to do. You know, it's like today it's raining, or you know, it's all rainy yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. I mean, I took my kids to a park. I took my kids out for a walk. I try to get out as much as possible, but there's nowhere to go. I mean, there's nowhere.
Right.
Like we could go to the children's museum. Or
Yeah,
you
you
could
take
go
for
to,
granted that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take them to something.
Even to
Chuck
like
E.
go out to
Cheese.
eat. Yeah.
Or go out to eat. Anything, just to get out of the house. I mean, you're just so cooped up. I mean, you make it work.
Sure.
I know. I don't know if you guys have done this because we're kind of at the beginning of the whole quarantine and people
Right.
being home.
Right.
Coming up with, this could be a parent or dad hack, coming up with a schedule. And
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that around. Coming up with something to make sure your kids have some type of routine, especially older kids.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, even our kids are used to going to school every day.
Well, they're used to structure.
Exactly, but now we have to create the structure for them. So we have to come up with something to start the day. Academic hour.
Yeah.
Exercise.
So I did something today with my kids, and it kind of worked.
Fill me in.
Okay. So we went downstairs and we were getting ready to I asked them if they wanted breakfast, and they're like, no, not yet. And I'm like, okay. So we sat, and you know, of course, Gibbs was like, we're not going to school. I'm like, no. He's like, oh, well, can I play my video game? I was like, no. Here's what we're gonna do. We sat down. I got a piece of paper, and I just kind of had a conversation with them, and I said, okay. And we went through 5 things. Let me see if I can remember them. I was like, okay, first of all, what do you guys want to eat for breakfast?
Okay.
And so then they like both said whatever. And so I wrote it down.
Okay.
And then I said, what's something that you want to learn today? And then we wrote those down. And I said, what's something you want to get done to be helpful around the house today? And then they gave me their answers. And then it was, what's something you can do to be kind to somebody else?
Okay.
And then there was one more. Maybe something like that. Oh, the other thing was like, what do you want to do for fun?
Okay.
So like the kids' answers were pretty predictable.
Well, yeah. I mean,
But like I thought it was cool. Like the last one we did was the kindness one, and I thought that was really cool. So
what
Gibbs,
did you guys come up with? Yeah, I want to hear that.
yeah. So you know, the food thing was Sloan's like, I want eggs, you know, and
Yeah.
Gibbs like, I want a hot dog, which he never eats hot dogs, so that's weird, but okay.
He's feeling froggy.
Yeah.
Man. It's all everything's different right now.
But then they came up with Gibbs wanted to learn how to make a volcano.
Okay.
So like at some point during the day, I pulled my laptop out and we like looked it up and saw what supplies that we needed. And so one of these days we're actually going to do it.
Are you going to build a paper mache volcano, or are you just going to go up to Target and see if they have? Because I'm pretty sure they have a kit.
I think
for
they
it.
do have a kit. I was actually looking at it just like making it out of cardboard or something.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter,
No, I
right?
think- I
like
think if you
the
just,
stuff
like-
inside is what matters.
It's what comes out, and then it's probably going to be like a one-time thing.
Right. So
It's not saying you.
yeah, I mean, so we looked up a couple different like ways to do it and everything, but it was cool. Just like there was pictures, and then he'd be like, "Oh, well, click on that picture," and all right, well, here's what we have to do here to do it. So, I think when we do it, it'll, you know, he'll be excited about it because he was exposed to it already.
Yeah.
You know,
it's going to be exciting. It's something different that you guys
Yeah.
are usually doing. So
right?
yeah, I think coming up with ideas like that. I wouldn't say I did something similar, but yesterday I was home, so I did breakfast, and then we did academic hour where we just did puzzles and math and whatever, whatever we could figure out to do with the kids. So I did that, and then I was like, all right, let's do we did yoga. I saw somebody on Facebook did
I saw that,
yoga. It's called like Yoga Time, which is great. I mean, kids are super into it. They had like it's this, I don't know what nationality she is, like British or something. She has like different themes every show. So the one we watched was Spider-Man, the first one.
Oh, that's cool.
And she does like Spider-Man moves, and the kids were super into it. So we did that for like probably half hour, 40 minutes. And then we did some exercise. And then we went outside, I was going to take them to the football field because that's where we usually go because it's turf and that's closed down.
Oh, yeah.
So we took the baseball stuff with us, football, soccer ball, everything. We played baseball it was like a shot put. Like they had like a field for like shot put. Yeah. So we used that as like our field. Walked around there. We played for like an hour. We had lunch out of the back of my car.
I know, that was cool. I saw that.
So we did that, and then came back home. Ben took a nap. Sam relaxed for a little while. So that was like our rest time.
Yeah.
Hung out for a little while. Did some more activities, and then we went to a playground.
It's nice.
And brought him home, had dinner.
It's a good time. It was a good day.
It was organized.
Yeah.
I don't know if we could do. It's easy to say for one day, right? I mean,
yeah.
When you're talking about a couple of weeks or however long this is.
I mean, that was the problem with my thing today was, we came up with all these things, and the whole idea is that then they could go check it off when they did something, right? And so we ate breakfast, and
like that. So make like a checklist. I like that idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So we were doing that, and then we were still open today up until 2:00.
That's right. Today's your last day.
So, I got pulled away because things were happening, and I still had to be in charge, and things like that, and. So, I mean, it got to a point where I was like, all right, you guys go play with your toys for a little while. And then that wasn't working because I couldn't get anything done. So I'm like, all right, we'll put a movie on. Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you feel bad about it, but it's.
Hey, what are you going to do? Okay, so this
we
is
got
not
to
normal
adjust.
Life. This is something that's not going to. I mean, there's a light somewhere at the end of the tunnel. We don't see it, but there's a light somewhere. Sure. And then eventually things will go back to normal. But in the meantime.
Right, we do.
I don't find that to be a terrible thing if you put a movie on, or pull the iPad out or something. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. This is very strange. Everything. It's very eerie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking to a guy at work the other night, and he's just like, the other day, and he's like, 60-some years old. He's like, I've never seen anything, in my life like this.
Right. It is a complete life changer.
It really is. I mean,
like I remember, so we obviously went through when we were 16, 17 years old, we went through 9/11.
Yeah.
And like one of those things where we'll always remember,
so you know exactly where you were,
all that kind of stuff. And like, you'll think about it, like the kids that are that age now, they're going to remember this.
Yeah. Okay.
And like even more so.
We'll go into those kids, like say kids in high school, say kids in college. Okay. So, for example, kids in high school, your entire season of sports is gone. You're potentially
graduation.
We don't know how, graduation, prom, the things that we remember forever, the types of things that we got to do. I mean, a lot of these kids will never go to another level of sports. Like, they'll never play baseball again.
Yeah, didn't know that you were playing your last game.
Yep, that was it. Or they didn't even get to play it. They're still probably doing tryouts.
Yeah, that's
March,
true.
So I mean, it's like these guys never even get their last season as a senior.
Yeah.
They don't get to do the things that walk the hallway for the last time at school.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just insane. And then college kids. I mean, think of these basketball players.
Yeah. Don't get to do your last tournament.
Yeah.
Or maybe your only tournament. You know what I mean? Like for Dayton, some of those schools.
Think about Dayton. Dayton could have been the team to win this year.
Yeah.
Dayton, Ohio.
Right.
And we'll never know.
Never know.
Ah, man. And it's so crazy, man. Everything is just all life-changing. And then think about businesses.
And the thing about it is it's so much bigger than sports. It's so much bigger than my business or somebody else. I mean, it's like it's a worldwide thing, right? Like, I don't know how else to, I hate the word pandemic, and I mean, I guess it is.
I guess it is qualified as a pandemic.
I don't really love that word because I think at the end of the day, like, we're going to figure it out, and we're going to, it's just, I guess it's like surreal to think that that's what we're living through.
Yeah. I mean, just look at everything. Look at everywhere you go, man. Driving past businesses that are closed.
Dude, we were doing some work at the daycare tonight, so we closed at 2:00. And so we said we're going to use this opportunity to do some projects that we would never be able to do if we had to
'cause you had
like
the time
open up
for it.
on Monday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we were demoing some stuff tonight, and so we were like, oh, pizza stores are still open. Let's order a pizza. And like the first thing that they say when you call was like, just so you know, we're not, no one's touching anything, and there's no cash. You know, it has to be on a card. They wouldn't let me sign for my card. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're
insane. I mean,
there's
I'm
just
glad
no
they're taking the
contact, which is
precaution,
really great. Like guys got gloves on and everything
Exactly.
else. And like, I wanted to, cause he like started just to leave and was like, well, wait a minute. Like, how can I give you a tip? And he's like, well, you could put it on the card. I was like, well, all right, can we do that? Like, I appreciate you that you're out here working, you know? And so, but he wrote it down and he's like, are you good with that? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
Did you tell him how much? Or
Yeah,
did you
no, no, I told him how
He's
much.
like, yeah, you good with that right there? Because I already wrote it.
Right.
And it's in pen. This is the only copy.
No, but he wrote it. Like I told him he wrote it and he showed it to me so that I saw it or whatever.
That's
but
so
like,
crazy, man.
it's just like a different
Okay.
way of, I mean, we had to take temperatures of everyone that came into the building
Yeah,
today.
that's another thing. So, I mean, that's another thing that's going on. But back to your point too about the businesses and everything, or like a pizza store. I went to Heinen's yesterday because I had to get some food. So you're walking around, and it's so funny how not funny. It's just crazy how nervous everybody is. Like nobody wants to be close to anybody.
Right.
So the moment someone like moves towards somebody, they're like they back away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody's just. I mean, you're terrified of a stranger. You're just uncomfortable because you don't know, and it's a scary thing. You're like, I can't touch anything. I'm like you said the other day. It's like you washed your hands so many times, your hands start to crack. It's like, well, it makes me feel like I never wash my hands.
I know.
And that's everybody though. I mean, I wash my hands, but not as much as I have.
Sure.
I touch my face.
Dude, I've been
much.
washing. I've been washing my hands probably like every 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always washing my hands. It's insane. My hands hurt.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, they're just raw. But I mean, like just sanitizing everything. I was at work today. I had a Lysol can, disinfectant spray. I walked around and sprayed every single doorknob in our office. So in our office, we have doors to go into every office, to the warehouse, everything. Every door is wide open just to avoid people touching anything.
Smart.
They have the time clock in the warehouse. They have wipes for anybody who touches the time clock. So you have to wipe the time clock every time you punch in or punch out. Like it's just, I mean, everybody's taking precaution, which is good.
Which is really, really good. Like the stuff with the people in the grocery store and stuff like that. Like, no, you don't want to live in a world where people are scared.
Yeah, but it's good to be cautious.
All of this stuff out here, and I'm glad to see that people are, for the most part, taking heed and saying, okay, like let's just be a little bit inconvenienced right now and get through this.
Yeah. And you can if you just play ball.
Right.
Now you have these idiots on spring break and shit.
I can't
This
believe
could go
that.
into parenting, by the way.
Yeah.
This is a good segue into parenting.
Dude.
So I know when your kids are in college, and I know when your kids want to go have fun, but I feel like at some point you got to be like, I'm taking control here. You're not going on spring break. There is way too much shit going on right now. You need to hunker down and just stay put. And that's
I would be so pissed if that was my kid.
I'm like, dude, I get it, man. I get it. I know you're 21 years old and you want to go to spring break. And these kids are sitting there complaining about how they're shutting down beaches and bars. It's like, what do you expect, man? There is a pandemic.
I mean, have you seen the people like in Italy that are dying?
Yeah. You see the people here that are dying?
But I mean, here's the thing though. Have you seen the Italy stuff? Like how they're suffocating to death?
Yeah.
Because there's not enough respirators and not enough hospital beds.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of us like
staying away from each other
so that we can make sure the hospitals have enough resources to care for people
and that's why
at
they
a time.
say flattening the curve.
Yeah.
And the reason and what we're doing to flatten the curve is social distancing.
Yeah.
Not going to parties, not going to bars, not flooding the beaches.
Right.
And being around people.
Right.
You know, like at work, we have to make sure that half the staff is there at a time. My office is completely empty when I'm there.
Yeah.
And then I switch and then another group comes in. So like we are nowhere near each other. I mean, that's because that's what the precaution we're taking. We still have to do business as usual because we have, you know, we deal with a major power provider.
Keep the lights on.
Using the lights on. So it's like, but man, if that's all you have to do is just stay away from people for a little while, just do it, man. You'll go back to partying when you're done.
Right.
When it's over, you could go back to living life again.
I saw a meme or whatever today that I thought was actually pretty cool. And it was like, when all this stuff clears, every single game is going to be sold out. Every single restaurant is going to be full. Every single grocery store is going to be stocked, and people are going to be going and like being
That's
back
very
to
true. I didn't
like
even
think
think
about
about
what a great day
when they
or
open
week
everything
or
up.
whatever that's going to be. Like think about like the tribe games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's going to get a late start, but when it goes, like, do you know how many people are going to be so happy to go?
It's going to be
Because you
like,
just take for granted like the things that I'm just going to stay in tonight.
it's going to be like when your team wins a championship, when everybody's
Yeah.
your best friend, and everybody's going to be excited to see each other. And
Okay,
people are going to be
man.
happy to be around people again.
I'll be interested to see if how long it takes before, you know, like high fives and handshakes and stuff
People
like
people
that.
get comfortable around being around a group of people again.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the scary thing, because there have been other, I don't know, was it H1N1 that
Yeah.
went away and then it came back like in the summer it went away and then in the fall came back. So here's another thing. Do you remember any of that?
The only thing that I
a little bit,
remember,
but not really though.
so that was what, like 2014, 2015?
That was 2009, I think, or 2008.
What was 2014 or 15?
It was 9. I don't know. It was like,
Was that
Ebola.
Zika?
Oh, it might have been Zika.
That was Zika. Because I remember it was really bad in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and we were considering taking a trip or something like that, but it was like really bad. Like Zika was terrible if you were pregnant.
Yeah, because the kids are
And
being born with the little
we were-
smaller heads and all that crazy
Yeah.
stuff. And
Yeah. And we were, I don't know if we were pregnant yet or if we, you know, whatever, but we knew it was
I think
coming.
Liz was pregnant during that time.
Yeah, because I remember there was like a trip that we could have gone on and we decided not to go because that's the only like thing that I remember. H1N1 I don't really remember.
I don't remember it at all. But apparently it was terrible.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it at all.
But it wasn't like this.
No. See, I can't pull up any numbers to see what
Yeah.
the cases were, or deaths or anything.
Yeah, it
but
doesn't really matter.
It
I mean,
doesn't. You can't really compare. It's just this is insane. We are living in a very weird time right now. It's very surreal, and I mean, you're driving around, everything's closed. There's barely any cars on the street.
mm-hmm. Gas is cheap.
Gas is super cheap, man.
Can't go anywhere, but it's
Can't
cheap.
go anywhere. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Although I will say this too, it doesn't hurt anybody if you do want to go for a car ride.
No.
Just to get out of the house, put the kids in the car, put on like a story on tape or something like that.
It's a
I
good
don't think
idea.
It's not even a thing anymore, but
Story and actually,
audiobook.
Audible through
Audible.
Amazon
Mm-hmm.
is free right now. For all their kids programming is free.
So that's another thing. So a lot of businesses and I don't know, networks and things like
Yeah.
that are doing a lot of stuff to help people out to get
Sure.
through this, because sanity.
And that's really cool to see too. I was just about to get into like my little rant here about how I'm actually really impressed with at least
Everybody?
our community. Like
Yeah.
I can't speak on a national level, but like around here, and like when I made the decision to close the centers, I had 99.5% super positive. Like, thank you. Like this is a tough decision, but thank you. It can't be an easy thing to do, but I appreciate that you are
I think you guys
trying
approached
to
it
think
the right
about
way.
us. You know what I mean?
You approached it the right way. I feel like you did the right thing. As being someone who has kids in your daycare, I think you did the right thing. And that's easier for me to say because now I'm able to
Sure.
have the kids watch. But I think at the same time, you're keeping a lot of people safe. You're keeping your employees safe. You don't know where anybody's been.
Right.
So you don't know who's bringing in what. And I mean, and that's a scary thing. It's like sending your kids to school.
Yeah.
But it's just tough, man. That's a tough call, but I think that you guys did the right thing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And
You should feel pretty good. I mean, you shouldn't feel bad about any of that because
Well,
it's what you had to do.
yeah,
And I think eventually it's going to get to that point where everybody closes.
it will.
Every day it's something different.
Right. Every day it's someone else or some other industry is getting shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess what I was not to, I wasn't like meant to bring up about us, what it was.
No, but I'm just-
but like just the positivity in general. Like,
Yeah.
you know, no one wants to be out of work. Right.
No.
And like all of my staff, like there wasn't any complaining at all. They were like, okay, I appreciate that you have a plan. Let's do this. What can we do to help? Like,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
I feel like just everybody in general. Everybody's being very.
You go to the stores, and I was like, I thanked one of the cashiers at Giant Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, thanks for working. I know that's dealing with crazy, and she's like, hey, we all need stuff, and this and that. I'm happy to do it. I'm taking every precaution that I can, but we understand that people need food.
Yeah,
it's like Thank you.
And that's the people you think about too. Is like,
and so many people were just thanking people. You know what I mean? Like I thought it was a very like it was visibly, you could feel it, you could notice it, that people were.
They're very thankful for this because they need
positive.
And I said this the other night too when we had our last podcast. And it sucks that this is the type of shit that needs to happen for these type of things to happen, for people to be all on one side again, for everybody to be, appreciative of each other and just. But it is good to see people doing what they're doing right now. I mean, as scary as everything is, everybody's coming together, everybody's working everything out. And I feel like I said earlier, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We'll get there. It's scary in the meantime.
Part of that is whether it's a natural disaster or a pandemic or whatever.
Like 9/11, for example.
Yeah, right. Something like that. Because we're all affected. Yeah, it's not convenient for anybody. It's not a haves and have-nots things where you can either take sides. You know what I mean? It's everybody is affected by this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I think that it's our job, as, community leaders and really as fathers is to be positive, right? Like
you have to.
And that's like, I'm trying to look at every single thing that we can do to, how many times, so for example, how many times you say, man, if I just had a couple days to get this done.
Yeah.
But we never have those days. We're always too busy. Guess what? We got the days.
You got the days. And then if you could do it, there's no excuses.
Right.
And be there with your family, be there for your kids, do things you've never done before.
Right.
I mean, this is the time to do it. And, there's been a lot of positive things out there. I mean, obviously there's a lot of funny memes and things like that, but there's a lot of negative. There's a lot of negative out there.
Yeah.
But find some positive. Like people said, be home with your family.
Right.
Do things you've never done with your family. Just live life.
Yeah, 100%.
We're doing something different that we've never had to do before, and a lot good can come from it.
Yeah, it absolutely can. And I think there's specific things that we can do. There's like I told all my team today, because we closed at 2:00, so I sent them like a final message or whatever. It's like not final. I'll be talking to them, of course, but like, hey, we're closed. Thank you guys for getting through this and whatever. And like I listed out some things, and most of them were suggestions from my team of like, hey, because I put it out to them. I'm like, hey, what can we do to be the leaders? Take your coworkers and say, all right, here's what we're going to do while we're off. And some of them were like, oh, well, we want to catch up on our continuing education. It's all online classes that are offered that they do every year. So I'm like, hey, that's a great idea. So I made sure I put the links out for them. And then one of the things that we decided we were going to do is starting tomorrow, our communication app, Brightwheel.
Yeah.
We're going to start putting out a reverse Brightwheel.
Okay.
So like as a parent, you send in pictures of what you're doing with your kids.
Oh, I like that, man.
And then it allows everyone to see, but then as teachers, like what they're all going to do is go in and see and say, hey, that's awesome. Just so you know, what you're actually doing right there is you're working on, manipulative skills, and you're working on gross motor skills or fine motor skills, and like how we actually teach and the things that we try and hit. And so that way, and like, hey, we've done this before. If you do this, maybe you'll get this react. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
good though, because then other parents
kind
get
of
other
keeps
ideas.
them engaged. I mean, they're not working, but they also like all they ever care about is like, well, I just hope the kids are okay and this and that.
That's what's amazing about it. I mean, and that's number one for all of them, and that's the great thing about the staff there. So, and that's good too for other parents that are like, okay, well, shit,
what do I do?
I've done this.
Yeah,
you can look at other parents and be like, oh, it's a good idea.
So I really hope that kind of takes off, because I think that's a cool way to stay engaged with our families.
I will definitely post some stuff on that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Kids, I have at work today. I went on Pinterest and I printed up like 20 different activities, whether it be like shapes for Ben and math for Sam and ABCs and all that stuff, and just different activities for them to do. And I printed up a bunch of different things for them to do, just different constructive things that they can get done instead of just sitting there and being bored watching TV.
Right.
because to be honest, I have nothing else to do when I'm home. So why would I sit there and be like, all right, you guys, here's the deal. I could sit there and put on a movie and just play on my phone all day, look at Facebook.
Yeah.
But it's all the same shit.
Right.
And to be honest with you, a lot of it's bringing me down. I've had a lot of stress worrying about my friends and family, our parents, grandparents, myself and Ben who have asthma, my brother. So, I just have,
sure.
It's natural for everybody to just be like, oh my God, I'm just thinking about the worst.
Right.
But you got to try to sit there and find something positive to do and get away from all the. Trust me, I get lost in Facebook.
Sure, we all do.
But man, it's the same shit. I would love to see something else. I would love to see something besides COVID-19.
100%.
I'm so sick of it, man. I can't even look at anything. And I'm like, whether it be something funny or positive, there's nothing but that, and I can't find anything. You can't get lost.
Yeah, it's
in
dominant,
sports.
right?
It
yeah,
is.
you can't get lost in. We have no outlet, right?
We have nothing.
You used to be able to turn the game on, and
you can't get away from
for
it.
a couple hours. You can think about that. You could.
Shit, man! I went on Netflix last night and I watched Outbreak. I'm like, well, why am I doing this?
Yeah, right.
Well, then I watched.
No, I think so tomorrow, the 20th.
Okay.
So the day that this is going to get released tomorrow.
Yes.
International Day of Happiness.
Well, let's promote that.
I want to promote the shit out of that, and pictures of kids doing stuff like we should take this time to build a fort.
Yeah.
To go, tomorrow's supposed to rain. I fully intend on putting rain boots on and coats and going outside and just playing in mud.
It's going to be warm.
Why the hell not?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? My kids will love it so much.
You're absolutely right. I might do that first.
So I'm doing that. First thing in the morning, eat breakfast, get dressed, go do some baths after that.
Oh, yeah, because
and then go relax.
Here's the deal: you have nowhere to be.
Right.
You have no plans, so you can go and get the kids messy. Go let them have fun. Go get them. Who cares if their clothes get wet? Who cares if their boots get wet? Just let them go.
Got time to do laundry.
Shit, man! I remember being little and playing in the rain. I remember going those summer days, just going out in the rain and just laying in the puddles, and just getting soaked. The best. So
man. we were talking about well, man, what did our kids do when they were little? That especially going from one kid to the other kid, right? Because first kid gets to do whatever they want. Second kid doesn't really get that same luxury. Yeah. Now there's two of them to deal with. And I was looking at videos from when Gibbs was Sloane's age.
When he was always jumping in the mud.
Always jumping in the mud.
Sam's super into it now. I'm like,
and I was
the kid can't spill water on his shirt without freaking out. Right. He's jumping through mud. There's mud all over his face. His clothes are soaked. His boots are, and he's having the best time. I try to explain that to him. I'm like, buddy. Yesterday, for example, he was sliding all over the place out in the field. We're playing baseball. And he goes, oh.
He loves a good slide.
He loves a good slide. He loves it. But he gets up and he goes, oh, man. He's like, my pants have mud on them. They're wet. I'm like, who cares? I'm like, enjoy it, man. I'm like, so he was getting upset about it. So I'm like, you know what? Screw this. So I went and slid in the mud.
Oh, nice.
I got my pants all muddy. And I'm like, see, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm like, enjoy it, buddy. There's nothing to worry about. And then eventually he let loose and just got over it. So I'm like, I don't care. I'll just do the laundry. Which one?
That one. High example, man.
Yeah, it's like, buddy, it's no big deal. There's worse things. Who cares? Whatever.
That's so great.
So, and he got over it. But I think just doing stuff that's off the wall, just doing, going back to just doing.
Be silly.
Yeah.
Be crazy.
Get crazy. Do something different.
Listen, it's not going away. No, next week.
No, we don't know.
We have no idea. It could be weeks. You know what I mean? So. Let's just go have fun. Do crazy stuff that you would normally never do.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great way to look at things.
I 100% agree. And I'm glad you said that about going to play it because it's raining. I'm like, I guess we'll just have to sit inside. Well,
right. That was my first instinct. I was like, oh, we're going to be stuck inside all day. It's
going to be warm tomorrow.
Why?
It's going to be beautiful tomorrow.
Why do we have to be stuck inside?
Let's go take advantage of no matter what it is.
Let's go slide in the mud puddles and let's go. If Gibbs wants to go play baseball, I'll go play baseball with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be 60 something degrees.
Yeah, for us Ohioans, that's phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
That is a great temperature. It's going to be not only just 60, it's going to be 66 tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then guess what?
Snow.
30 degrees on Saturday.
Well, you know.
It'll be sunny. Hey, got that going for us.
There you go.
So, yeah. So I talked to my dad tonight, and I called him, just kind of updated him on the kids, sent him a bunch of pictures of what we did yesterday, and he's like, you know, he goes, I love that. He goes, I love what you're doing with them. He's like, just even eating the lunch.
That was cool.
In the car and everything, just going somewhere random, just eating lunch. I packed a lunch. We just went and.
When would you normally do that?
Never. So I told him, he's like, I love that you're doing this stuff. And I'm like, you know what I think of, Dad? I'm like, when I was little, I remember you taking us wherever. We just get in the car, me and my brother, my dad, and we just go anywhere. And we'd pack lunches. We'd sit in the back of we'd just sit anywhere and just have lunch together.
Really?
Like sandwiches. And I told him, that kind of stuff always stuck with me. I remember that forever. I was little. I'm talking like when I was like 5, and I'm like, I remember doing those things with my dad. Those stupid little trips, the random stuff that we did with him.
Right.
I remember that stuff. So I'm trying to do that as a dad with my kids and try to get those small little memories.
Yeah.
That I'll never forget those days with my dad doing that stuff.
When was the last time you went on a picnic?
Right?
I mean, you did yesterday.
I did yesterday. So he did. But
like, that's amazing.
But I think about that stuff. My dad used to do this random stuff like that all the time. He would take us anywhere, and we just have random little adventures, and I'll never forget that kind of stuff.
Awesome.
So I want to do that same stuff with my kids.
That's really cool.
So, yeah.
I think that's a really good thing for people to do.
For sure. Just go somewhere that you don't go. I mean, just go. There's people. Well, there's not really anybody anywhere.
No.
So, I mean, go to
You could literally just drive.
Literally just drive and find a parking lot and just sit there.
Yeah.
And
it's somewhere different. You can look around, talk about what you see.
And for the kids, it's different and it's exciting.
You could drive down the street and they would be like,
Literally.
oh, cool. You know what I mean? Because they don't care about where they're at. They're hanging out with you.
And exactly. And you're having
eating
fun.
lunch in the back of the car.
Yeah.
Like, that's cool.
That's it. And that was just, I mean, they had a blast. We listened to music and just hung out. And
that's awesome.
That's the kind of stuff you got to do.
Yeah, 100%. You got to do that kind of stuff. And then, mix in some productive stuff. Like,
absolutely.
I want to get my garage clean while we're off.
Oh my God, I know.
The winter's been a
brutal bitch.
rough on my garage.
Same here, man. I just touched my face, but my garage needs clean.
Like things like that. Clean, going through old clothes and like
clean up,
all that kind of stuff that like
whatever.
you normally you don't want to waste weekend time because that's the only time you get to hang out with your kids all day and
just do random projects.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that we can get done.
Get that stuff out of the way because you have the time to do it.
Right.
I was saying, clean up, but at the same time, at some point yesterday, I kept my house in order for the most part, but Liz sent me a snap today when I was at work. She's like, "Sorry, the house is a disaster." I'm like, "It's gonna be."
Yeah.
What's the point?
We're gonna be cooped up.
Just let it be.
Yeah.
And whatever. Just get past all the petty shit and just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Enjoy your family.
And because that's the thing, you'll go crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go crazy and be frustrated over things that don't really matter. Because this kind of thing puts everything into perspective. Doesn't matter if toys aren't organized.
It sucks that it takes this kind of this type of event to make you realize those things.
Right.
But
hopefully, that's the positive part about it, though. Maybe we come out on the other end of this and we're a little bit more free. We're a little more appreciative of being able to go to the park and, or
having all these things that are fingertips.
Right.
Stuff you usually take for granted.
Right.
And we take a lot for granted.
Toilet paper. I don't get that.
All right.
Can you talk toilet paper
I want
for
to
a
talk
minute?
toilet paper for a minute. We actually needed some. Okay. And I thought, this is like a couple weeks ago, I was out to lunch with a vendor and the news is on the TV and they're like, oh, there's a shortage of hand sanitizer. Okay, I get that. And they're like, and toilet paper. I'm like, wait, what? Why? I'm like, there's no, it's not like a stomach bug. Okay.
Right.
People aren't like, it's not like a diarrhea.
Right.
Like, there's not like, why is the toilet paper running out? So I went to the store the other day and I'm like, I got to go find, I don't even know what I was getting. But I'm like, fuck it, I'll go look for some toilet paper. We actually did need some, but I'm like, we'll survive for a few days. Gone. And the guy's like, there's like a group of people standing in that aisle. I mean, it's just torn apart. There's just shit thrown everywhere. And I'm like, what is going on? Lady's like, when are you guys getting more toilet paper? The guy's like, tomorrow afternoon. He's like, take it. He goes, take it easy. He's like, just come in tomorrow afternoon. There will be toilet paper. He's like, we're not running out of toilet paper. They're gonna stock the shelves.
Right.
He just goes, relax. Literally, relax.
Yeah.
It's toilet paper.
very strange to me.
The weirdest. Here's the thing that pisses me off. And Dustin Fox actually tweeted something the other day. The person that had like 28,
the 17,700 bottles of hand sanitizer.
No, the toilet paper.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
So this woman was at like Costco or something. So each pack has 48 rolls of toilet paper or something like that.
Yeah.
She had 28 cases of them. You'll never use those. So what's the point?
Why?
And they made the point the other day too about like these elderly people that can't get out and go shopping, and they need these things.
My brother dropped stuff off on Tuesday. What's today? Thursday? Yesterday to my grandma.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do it Saturday.
It's like, stop thinking about this shit. Why are you stockpiling this stuff? You're not going to run out.
Yeah.
Like there's somebody put that post out the other day of like how much, if you have this many rolls of toilet paper,
how much you would actually have to
go to the
use.
bathroom, how many sheets you would have to use per dump to actually equal that. It's like, come on, people. Just chill out with the freaking toilet paper. And stop.
It's strange that that's what it went to.
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like I see like different types of food and things like that, but toilet paper.
I get the food stuff.
I get the hand sanitizer. Here's the deal. Use water and soap. It actually works better than hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
I can understand if you're in a pinch and you don't have anything, like you're in a car or something.
Well, even like the Clorox wipes and stuff like that. Like those are like the most expensive way to sanitize something.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love a good sanitizing wipe. We have them, and we use them, but not for like cleaning up a mess.
No.
You know what I mean? That's what I feel like people are doing is they're just like constantly, I don't know. It's probably good. Things are clean, but
toilet paper.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It was funny though. So we had to take
literally.
We had to take Chelsea. Yeah, literally. We had to take Chelsea's car into the shop the other day. And, I had to call and make sure they were still open and doing stuff and all that kind of stuff. So they needed it overnight. So they gave me a rental. And they're like, all right, make sure you grab everything out of your car. Make sure you get your garage door opener, stuff like that. So I'm going through there and I'm looking and, Chelsea, like she's always got everything in there. And she has like little hand sanitizer spray bottles. She had like 3 of them in there. So I grabbed those. And then I looked in the center console. She had Clorox wipes, and I grabbed those. I'm like, "This is the times that we're living in."
You have to take them, man, because people just steal them.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, we probably need these."
How many businesses do you think people like? Okay, think of like a normal workplace. I bet you these people are fucking digging into the company's stock and just stealing.
Oh
stuff.
yeah, probably.
I mean, I know at work we have a ton of toilet paper.
Yeah.
So if it came down to it, and I had nothing.
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Hey, guys, do you mind if I take a roll with me?"
Well, we had to just for this week. So for like food, we order all of our food ahead of time, and then it's just there. We go pick up and bring it back, and so we have frozen stuff, we have fresh stuff, and whatever. The only thing that we don't order ahead of time is milk, because the numbers vary so much, and I hate wasting milk.
Well, yeah.
So we just go. We know how many.
Required to have.
So we have to make sure that we buy enough. In order to, we participate in the USDA food program. So they count and make sure that we have enough. And I got really worried on Monday because that's when we do our shopping and everywhere was out of milk. And if they did have it, it was limit 2.
Oh, yeah.
And bro, like I buy 40 some gallons a week.
I didn't even think about that.
So I'm like, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Luckily we were able to talk to, I think it was Heinen's actually.
So they're
which we don't normally go to, but they were like, yeah, no,
Heinen's,
you can
man.
do it.
I went to Heinen's yesterday. That was great.
They're fantastic.
They had everything.
I go there because it's nice and close for me here. But for the daycare shopping, we just,
Yeah, I have Giant Eagle and Heinen's within like
there's
a mile of me. So, but man, they're like, I'm like, so I was in the deli. I'm like, so how you guys, has it been pretty crazy here? They're like, it's calmed down a lot, but they're like, it's not too bad here.
Yeah.
I think like Costco, Sam's Club, BJ's,
those big box
Walmart,
stores were,
Giant Eagle, things like that. Those places are just getting,
yeah.
I don't even know. It's
strange times, my friend.
Really is. And milk, I get.
Yeah.
I get that. What was another thing? Oh, bread. People stocking up on bread.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with bread.
Stuff goes bad.
It goes bad. Milk goes bad.
Yeah.
Don't take stuff that you don't need.
Yeah.
Because there are people that actually need it, and when they go there to get it and it's gone, and you have 36 gallons of milk that you're going to end up throwing away 95% of it.
Right.
Come on, man. That's kind of stuff that's like, just chill the hell out.
I know. It's crazy.
Because it is scary to think like, okay, so everything could shut down, but they'll make it work. There's not gonna get to the point where I can't really promise. I don't know.
That's the thing is we don't know.
I don't know, but I don't think it's gonna get to the point where people aren't gonna be getting food and stuff. I think they would work it out to where, I mean, if restaurants are still open, giving curbside pickup and things like that, I think you're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
we'll be okay. It's 2020.
Yeah,
I got Chick-fil-A tonight.
Nice.
So curbside.
There you go.
By the way, you use that? I don't know if you.
I've never done it. No. I mean, I've done drive-through, but
so I had to do that. You have to get like I don't know if it's like a membership or something. It's a reward program. So anyway, I guess I've used it enough over the last year or so. I didn't even realize I was getting points the whole time. So I ordered myself a spicy chicken sandwich. I got the kids, the nuggets or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to redeem your points to get your chicken sandwich? I'm like, yeah, sure. I thought I'd get a few bucks off. Free sandwich today.
Wow.
And I still have tons of points left. So
that's awesome.
Chick-fil-A.
I didn't know about that. I need to check that out.
Chick-fil-A is somewhere. If my kids were old enough to work, that's where I'd have them work.
These
kids are great. And I will say this: the Chick-fil-A where I picked up my food, not tonight, but there was another. Like, they're all great. All the kids are great. But I had this kid, and I'm like, he comes up to the car. He's a very polite kid. And I go, you know what? I start reaching my pocket. I'm like, I'm going to give him a couple dollar tip. All I had was like a 5 and a 10. So I'm like, here, give him a 5. I hand him a 5. I'm like, hey, buddy, I had you last time I was here. You're a very polite kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're awesome. He's like, and I told him, I'm like, I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
You're a great kid. And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. He's like, I can't accept tips. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, I just want to let you know that you're awesome. And I'm like, keep doing what you're doing. I'm like, you're just a great person.
Yeah.
But he was. I mean, the kid is just genuinely
That's cool.
a nice kid and everything. I mean,
they are. They're great. It's just a culture that they have, though.
You know what I
mean? Like
they stand by that.
Overly appreciative of their customers.
Yep. Super polite. I mean, they have an abundance of employees.
But you know what? And that's why they can take a whole day off when no one else in the industry does it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're never open on Sundays.
Yeah. That's their thing.
And I think they can afford to do that because people would rather go there on the other day. You know what I mean? So yeah,
it's true.
But I mean, that's just that's positivity.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? So that's what we need to all be more like Chick-fil-A during this whole freaking thing. Like how can I, or what is it? How can I?
What did they say?
Yeah,
they just always say my pleasure.
Or my pleasure. Yeah.
Like my pleasure.
Yeah.
Like okay.
Well, it's my pleasure to be able to.
Thanks for this delicious food.
Yeah.
Your chicken's amazing.
It is amazing.
And I was going to go back to another point, too. I took the kids to the park yesterday. Patterson's.
Oh, yeah.
So Sam sees that place, and he thinks of
donuts
and apple cider.
Yeah.
He goes, can we go get some juice? I'm like, buddy, I don't even think they're open. Let's go play on the playground. I look over, and the open sign's on. I'm like, holy shit. All right. So I see somebody walk out, and behind that guy, the gentleman who was working the register walks out behind them, and he's got sanitary wipes, and he's wiping the handles down. He's like cleaning everything.
Yeah.
After every single person that exited that place, he went over and washed every handle and everything. I mean,
amazing.
Yeah.
And that's what you get from a hometown.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody's doing that, like these big places, but
no, I mean, but even some, I don't know. Like when we went to swimming, 2 weeks ago. And so, like, this stuff was just getting started, and because they were still open.
Yeah.
And man, I saw
that place is great.
Like, you know how like when you go in there, they always give high fives to the kids.
Yeah.
Like they weren't doing it. They're like, nope, but we'll do this, and like they're waving and they're like doing whatever. And like I thought, and Gibbs was like, why? I'm like, remember, bud, we talked about this. We're not doing high fives anymore. Blah blah blah. And so like, but it was like a teaching moment, and then. There's just people wiping down every single handle. They were every time somebody like in between classes, like within like seconds, they were over there and they were wiping down all the chairs. Like just being conscious about it, right?
And that's
like,
what it's,
that's just
and every company is. Well, I mean, I'm guessing every company is putting that rule into effect that you have to keep everything sanitary.
Yeah.
I mean, even at the bowling alley last week, I took the kids to the arcade, and the girl that was working there, some like high school girl. That's just, she works behind there. She takes care of all the
the shoes and
machines
stuff.
everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, like in the arcade.
Oh, gotcha, in the arcade.
So she's walking around with like Clorox wipes. She's got spray and paper towels, and she's wiping down every machine. After a kid leaves one of the games, she walks over there and she cleans it off. I'm like, damn.
You know what I love is we're going through this thing where, you know, let's look at it from a realistic standpoint. Right now, my business is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife's business is closed.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is working, but half from home, half from, it's messy.
Split, yeah.
Kind of how you are. Like you're working
half
there, half at home, whatever. There are so many things that we could complain about. And yet we just spent some time talking about how impressed we are with people, how they're adjusting and still being positive about it. And like the culture that they're setting. That's, I think, what I am taking away from this so far is
because you could
a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah,
and
you could find a lot of negative.
Forget the ones that are going to be negative because I just don't care. Like I don't have enough time or patience to live my life like that.
There's enough stress and negativity in the world.
Right. Especially right now. There's enough of that.
Find all the positives and everything. I mean, to see even like my business, the owner's sending out messages to us daily, updating us, trying to figure out what works best for everybody.
Yeah.
Sending us all questionnaires.
Being flexible.
They're like, hey, what is going to work for you?
Yeah.
Would you be able to do this? Would you be able to do that? And actually seeing what, like, instead of putting a plan into place right off the rip, they went and checked with every single one of us individually and said, what works for you?
It's pretty awesome.
So that's pretty amazing that businesses are doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, because, it's scary. I mean, like, a lot of people have to claim unemployment. I know they're expediting the whole thing and trying to get everybody.
But it still sucks.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Even back in 2008?
Yeah.
I think in Ohio, like 20% of the population was unemployed.
Right. Yeah, it was big, yeah.
Yeah, so if we reach that point, that's pretty crazy.
I mean, what, 2008? That's when I moved back here. I think I got laid off in 2009.
Okay. I
don't know.
I can't even think of what I was doing. But yeah, man, that was a crazy time.
Yeah, man, but yeah, right now, like everybody, like, I don't know.
The scary thing with that is
80% of people. I don't even know.
I don't even know what it is and the scary thing with it is these businesses, like family-owned businesses, small businesses, like or even large corporations, you don't know how everybody's going to come back from it. That's what's scary is the unknown of like how everything's going to come back.
It is.
I feel like things will go back to normal, but I think it might take time. But it's just the unknown of.
It's going to take time, and it's going to take work.
Well, yeah,
and it's going to take hustle, and there's going to be programs in place where you can get really, really low in, like basically free money to loan.
Yeah. I think it'll work out. It's just when, and that's what nobody knows.
It's just going to be. So here's the problem, and I have nothing to back this up. I have no science to back this up. I'm not an economist or anything like that, but. My big fear is that a lot of places are going to be really, really hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to take advantage of like an SBA loan at, 1.25%, or, you're basically borrowing free money.
Yeah.
And they're just not going to do the things needed to get back on their feet because it's going to be quick and it's going to seem easy. And
then it's going to take some, but there's actually going to be.
And the work's not going to happen. And then you're going to see people go into debt. And that's what I fear for.
Yeah.
Because that can be a rough thing.
That's tough.
But we don't know.
That's the future.
We don't know how that's going to happen.
When that happens, and then we figure it out.
Right.
It's just, I don't know, man.
But I do love that we were just sitting here talking just about. Like that's what the first thing that we gravitated towards was, and I mean, us, we don't do show notes or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's just what we just talked, and that's what we went to because I think we have to be positive.
You have to because I have enough. We all have enough stress.
Well, we're setting the examples for our kids too, right? Yeah. Like if we're just going to mope around and be miserable and God. I mean, think of it this way: we're going to miss out on our Disney trip.
Yeah, we were going to miss.
And again. In the grand scheme of things, us not getting to go on vacation is not that big of a deal.
No.
But it sucks. We've been
sucks.
looking forward
pretty
to
upset
it
about
for
but at the
what, a
same-
year?
Yeah.
Like close to a year now?
That's a microcosm of what's going. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. It's just, but we see the big picture,
Right.
And I think our kids are old enough to, or not. They're young enough to where it's not going to really
No.
kill them either. Because
Right.
like, hey, we're going to Disney. They're like, but then
And we'll figure out when we can go again.
we'll go again.
You
But
know?
right now, we'll figure it out. I know we have to deal with our flights and our
Yeah.
reservations, our house, our cars, and all that stuff. But whatever, we'll figure it out.
Inconvenience, you know?
What are you going to do? And like I said, there's so many things going on in life every day that's stressful. So why not try to find a positive in
Yeah,
something?
100%.
Because, I mean, like you said, what are you going to sit around and mope in front of your kids
Right.
all day?
They see that, they feed into that, then
Yeah.
they're miserable.
No, just make their lives seem like everything's business as
This
usual.
should be or not even business as usual. This should be like a fun time in their life,
Well,
like especially with the young ones.
Yeah, because I mean,
you know?
Sam's excited. Like,
Dude, do you remember when Dad got to stay home for
Yeah.
2 weeks?
that's the thing is like, Sam's like, are we going to be home? Are we going to hang out tomorrow? I'm like, oh, we'll be home all day tomorrow, buddy.
Yeah,
And they're ecstatic.
yeah.
So take advantage of it because
Eat that up.
hell yeah, especially at this time, like for us with our kids at their age, shit, man.
Yeah,
We've talked about this before. Like this is a very fast time.
right.
This time will fly by.
Blink. Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
So while they're excited for us to be around and just
Yeah.
begging for our attention, give it to them.
right.
What else do you have to do?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I got.
I hope that my
I have
kids-
stuff to do around the house, but
Yeah.
I'll get to it. Whatever.
yeah. We'll get to it. I hope that my kids, Sloan probably won't. Gibbs, I don't know. Maybe
say.
it'll be something that dude, do you remember when Dad was off for 2 weeks? Mom
Yeah.
and Dad were off for 2 weeks, and we got to do this and this and this, and we jumped in the mud puddles, and
Just have the time of our lives.
yeah, it'd be amazing.
Yeah, I like that. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Hey,
We're doing it, man.
that's good advice.
Yeah.
I hit you the dad hack anyways
Ooh.
because that's just
Ooh.
just great advice.
Heck.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Pretty
I thought it was important, or we did
It's very. I mean, it's
kind of
For
give
now.
our thoughts on
this
it.
is, this is what's going on.
We can't give.
I have
advice.
no professional advice to give to anybody, but what we can do is have a little therapy session
Yeah,
and just kind of help you to find ideas, find some type of positivity in what's going
Right.
on, and just don't be. It's not all doom and gloom. I mean, yes, this everything that's going on is freaking terrible.
it's insane.
It's scary. It's very terrifying. We don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
don't know.
And that's
We
the
don't
thing,
know.
though. Control what you can control,
Yeah.
and if you can't control it,
What are you gonna do?
what are you gonna do?
But just that's what we're here for.
Yeah, we'll be putting out. So we kind of took like a little social media break during
Mhm.
this. Like, I was super busy. You were. Everyone is super
There's a lot of
busy,
shit going on.
and
We can't really do our usual.
it seemed trivial to post a funny meme of a dad like whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
It seemed trivial when real stuff's going on. But I think, especially starting tomorrow, International Day of Happiness, when you
Yeah,
get back
promote
on
the
it,
shit out
and
of
just
that.
like fun stuff that we're doing with our kids, and
Yeah. Be happy.
it's the best thing we can do. We just need to spread it.
Yeah. I agree with that, my friend.
I like it. All right. Well,
hey,
yeah,
good
this
stuff,
will be good this weekend. So we unfortunately have to
cancel our live
reschedule our reschedule the live event
Reschedule,
next
yeah.
week. I think we're depending on where we're at,
event. We're gonna do
we're
something.
still do something. Maybe go live and
Fuck, we'll do
talk
it
to
live.
people.
Yeah. Hey,
See if we can get people to call in and
do something.
have a drink at home with us and
Yeah. Come hang out with us.
do something. Why
We're gonna
not?
do- we're gonna do something. So keep an eye out for
And
that.
then we're gonna get the All Stars together and do a Zoom room.
Zoom. Yeah, that's right.
Should be fun.
That'll be awesome.
Be chaos.
Yeah. Hanging out with each other
Yeah.
via Zoom.
Right.
I like it.
Do stuff like that. The show must go on, right? Like, we need to keep this is a good distraction. This is a good,
Get out of the house for a little while.
yeah.
You've been going to work, but
Right.
you've been working on your daycare.
Yeah.
But still, get out of the house, come hang out,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
keep kind of a routine going with
right.
us
Try to, yeah, as
Try.
much as we can. So,
while keeping a safe distance.
right.
Although we're closer than 6 feet. Same.
I think they said 3 feet, right?
3 to 6.
Like 3 to 6, yeah.
Get a ruler. Anyway.
All right, cool. Yeah, so we'll keep doing little stuff like this because we don't know how many guests we'll be able to really book over the
Social
next
distance.
couple weeks.
Yep.
So we'll keep doing updates and
Stick with us.
yeah,
Stay positive.
keep doing stuff to the website.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool. All right. Well, if you, how's that go?
Well, first of all, follow us
Yeah, do that.
on Facebook and Instagram, your favorite podcast. And as always, raise good humans.
And stay positive.
Stay positive. Catch you next time. Hey guys, if you love what you just heard or watched, and we know you did, do us a solid and hit that thumbs up. Share with your friends and throw us a comment, literally about anything. Your support legit keeps us going. Oh, and don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. We really appreciate you.